Today I want to talk to you about why I changed my small pop-up trailer from a 7-pin wiring connector down to a 4-pin. So our original tow vehicle was wired with a 4-pin wiring harness. When we bought the trailer, it came with the traditional trailer 7-pin. When we went to go pick it up, we got an adapter that plugs into 4-way, and then you can add in the excess wires for the 12-volt power and the brake system. And when we got it home, we got to start thinking that maybe this adapter to go from 4 to 7 really wasn't the best solution for us. So I got to doing some research and figured out that these small trailers that don't have brakes in them, the wiring comes up to the front and then goes into a 6-pin connector, which then the rest of the pigtail comes off of. We looked at how we were going to use the trailer and decided that since there were no brakes on this trailer, the only thing that we'd be giving up by going from the 7-pin down to a 4-pin will be the 12-volt charging supply. And since our tow vehicle did not already have that 12-volt supply at the back, because we only had a 4-pin adapter, that was an additional expense that we would have to run to get power back there to then power the trailer. So we looked at how we were planning to use the trailer and decided, you know, when we're packing up, we're going to have it plugged into shore power, and that's going to be charging the 12-volt battery. The main places that we're going to be going, we're going to have electricity at the campsite, so that's going to be charging 12-volt power. So ultimately, losing the 12-volt charging system while driving was not an issue for us, and ultimately drove why I decided to change it. And so what I did is reach under the frame here and you follow the wiring harness back and you find the connector and you pull it off, and it's a 6 square. What I did was I went online and I ordered a 1-foot extension cord that was the 6 square too. And then I got a 4-pin wiring harness and mated them together. So then my 4-pin goes into the other end of this 6-pin and then plugs into the trailer, so that this 4-pin could then plug into my tow vehicle with the existing wires that are already there. I didn't have to do any modifications to the tow vehicle. Okay, so I took that 6-pin extension and I cut it in half, and then I took the 4-pin extension that I bought and I put them together, twisted the wires together and did some soldering, and then put some heat shrink around it. Now if you don't have access to a soldering gun or not comfortable doing it, you can buy butt connectors that you can either crimp or solder to connect the wires. If I were to do this again and I didn't have access to a soldering gun, I think I would skip the crimp-on butt connectors and I would buy the solder heat shrink butt connectors. I'll put a link in the description down below of what I'm talking about. And it's worked out fantastic. We've used this pigtail that I made on 2 different pop-up campers. Again, both small enough that they do not have any sort of brake system, on 2 different tow vehicles. Again, the only thing you're giving up at that point, because there are no brakes, I want to make that very clear, there are no brakes. The only thing we were giving up was the 12-volt charging system. I just want to share it with you guys and hope that may give you some ideas. Maybe there's some other people with small trailers that don't have brakes that want to do the same thing. Again, it was super easy to not have to modify or run 12-volt power from our tow vehicle that did not have it back to the trailer connector. It worked for us. And so if you're interested in doing this project and need any of this equipment, I'll put links to all the stuff that I used down in the description box, and you can go check that out. It was a super simple project and I would highly recommend it for anyone who's in the same situation. No brakes, doesn't necessarily need the 12-volt power, and doesn't already have a 7-pin connector on their tow vehicle. Easy swap, and it's been super beneficial for us. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, take care and pay forward.